I want to thank everyone for joining us today for the Empower Innovation webinar. And with that, I would like to have Jeff Macon take it away for a brief introduction.
Yes, thank you, Courtney. This is a brief introduction. My name is Jeff Macon, Program Manager here at Fresno State's Wet Center, working with the Blue Tech Valley Innovation Cluster. And I look forward to this webinar on the Empower Innovation Network, part of the California Energy Commission's Innovation Cluster program. And Tom, would you like to take it from here?
Sure. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, Courtney and Hella and other people with Fresno State and Blue Tech Valley. I'm Tom Jensen with iCatalyst. And I wanted to cover a couple parts of the agenda before Catherine Collins with Guidehouse will give a demo. We'll have plenty of time for questions. So I'll introduce myself first. Tom Jensen. I basically have two roles. I'm a founder in Entrepreneur Futures Network, and EFN is a nonprofit that primarily works with universities and other nonprofits to provide benefits associated with an open innovation network. We primarily organize and deliver mentor-based programs, but also training with about 10 different universities across the country. So I'm very familiar with universities, and I'm really, really excited to be part of this conversation today so I can learn about what you all are doing at the universities. And then my other role is as a managing director of iCatalyst, and Empower Innovation is a project that we have together with Guidehouse. So we're really excited about EIN growing. It was launched in October, and it really has the purpose to empower people working on innovation that can improve the environment, have an energy or climate benefit. And working with universities is really, really important. EIN, or Empower Innovation, what we hope to do, and we have about 800 members now and maybe about 270 organizational members, is that we want to reduce barriers for people to pursue their ideas and technologies. And we're primarily doing that by making it easier for people to find and identify funding opportunities, particularly grants, but also pitch competitions and fellowships. At any given time, we have about 100 active opportunities on the platform. And we also make it easy for people to identify teaming partners and start to network with them on pursuing a grant or pursuing other goals that they have. And so, Catherine, as we go through the platform, you'll all have an opportunity to learn more about it. We're very interested in your use cases so that we can give you some advice with respect to how you can get the most out of the platform and the community. So with that, if you want to change the slide and move to the agenda.
My name is Catherine Collins. I'm a senior consultant at Guidehouse Consulting, formerly Navigant Consulting. I've been working on this platform for just over a year now, working with Tom and my colleague Laura Vogel to help develop the platform, bring it to the clean tech community in California and beyond. So we're excited to kind of walk through a slide introduction, and then we're going to go on to the platform in a little bit and show you some of our features, our homepage, how to navigate a little bit. So Empower Innovation is an online platform designed to accelerate you or your community's clean tech journey with easy access to funding opportunities from the California Energy Commission, other providers, curated resources and events, referrals and connections to people and other organizations on the platform. The site was founded here in California. It's funded in support by the California Energy Commission. We also have a lot of support from our partners who we'll discuss in a moment. It's open to the public, completely free, and actively managed and curated by our team. And we have behind it a powerful innovation platform which allows us to organize various parts of the site, including applications. Right now, the Southern California Energy Innovation Network, and soon, we believe, the Blue Tech Valley Ventures application will be hosted on this platform. So we have the capability to offer that to some of our partners. Our aim is to provide one of the largest curated funding opportunities directories related to clean tech, not only startups, but more established developers and architecture and engineering firms and local communities. Of course, we work to bring together all of our community members, help them connect and achieve their goals around a shared vision for the clean economy. And we also have a pretty extensive collection of resources for not only entrepreneurs, but the rest of our community members as well. This includes tools from related to the basic economics of operating a business, through to guides for local governments looking to set up climate action plans or pursue the equitable distribution of electric vehicle support devices in their community. So we really aim wide when it comes to our target audience, and where we aim narrow is in that almost everything on the site is connected to energy, the environment, sustainable food and agricultural practices, water, climate adaptation and resiliency in communities. So that's where we offer our narrowed focus. So in addition to the California Energy Commission, we also have 5 partners through the CEC's clean tech ecosystem, including Blue Tech Valley. We also are partnered with Cyclotron Road, Lacey in the Los Angeles area, a New Energy Nexus, which you could say is formerly CalSeed, but also manages the CalSeed program and soon the Cal Testbed program. And then, of course, the Southern California Energy Innovation Network. And so our partners have helped us not only in helping us connect with new groups that might be able to bring their communities onto the platform and derive mutual benefit there, but also in helping us define our focus areas, which is, so under the direction of Blue Tech Valley, we've made sure to include resources and funding opportunities that pertain to agriculture, food, and water, areas that are very important to them and to many of their hub partners, so to you. And so we make sure that those are captured on the site so that our resources equally valuable across the needs of our partners' communities. So although we've only been, we've been active as a platform for about 9 months now, and then we're publicly launched by the CEC in October, but we're already having some great feedback. We've got a quote here from Zora Chung, who was a founder and CFO of Rejewel and a CalSeed grantee. So I'll let you read that. I'd also say that in addition to being serving the California clean tech community, we are designed to expand to a wider focus as well. New Energy Nexus, as one of our partners, already exists as an international focus to their community, and we are working to make connections across the country. one of our other major early adopters of the platform, EV Match, not only has found value in the platform, but has also helped bring connections to us. So they participated in an accelerator program in Vermont that gave them access to that market, and then helped connect that program back to us. And so we think that's a really important way to kind of grow not only opportunities for clean tech development here in California, but of course creating a launch point into new markets across the country and beyond. So Empower Innovation's value really grows as our members grow. We're designed to provide solutions to each part of a clean tech innovation's progress. So starting with helping a new idea get off the ground or make a connection with an accelerator that might give them guidance in the first few years of their project's development. That might be based out of a research project in a local university. Our funding opportunities are designed to cover the whole gambit, from a pitch competition that's got a $25,000 check to the top winner, all the way up to really sizable grants in the millions of dollars from either the California state government or the federal government. And of course are targeted towards that whole range of who is going to be adopting and using clean tech. So I know that we have some representatives of small business or local economic development groups here. We have funding opportunities that are more focused on more generally business development, and also local community support grants. And of course, we're interested in continuing to grow our offerings for those portions of our community as well. One of our most fantastic tools that we offer is a Find a Partner function. I can show you this a little bit more on the platform, but what it does is it allows our registered members to announce their interest in funding opportunities. And this is a critical development under the direction of the California Energy Commission, who in some of their larger grants really want a team of 2 or more organizations, developers, and maybe a local community that's offering to host whatever the project supported by the grant would be. And so we have created a place for people to flag their interest in those funding opportunities and hopefully lower that barrier to making the first connection between here on a trusted platform. Okay, so we're going to switch over to the live site. And I'm going to talk just a little bit more about our community, show you a few of our directories with some of our best resources, and then we'll talk briefly about signing up on the platform. So here on our homepage, we do have the top menu across the top, and then if you're a signed-in user, you do have access to a few features that we'll talk about in a little bit. But as you move down the platform homepage, one of the first places we recommend people to visit is our community radial here, which has a little bit of information about all of the different parts of the clean tech community that we're looking to engage here on the platform. So whether or not you're a startup service provider, such as Blue Tech Valley, or many university programs, or if you are inviting technology innovators, such as startups, to join here the platform, they would probably be a technology innovator. You can always click here and learn more, which takes you to a more detailed page with really extensive lists of examples to help people find where their organization would be a best fit. And so if we were to go through all the way to our organization directory, give you an idea of a few of the different kinds of ways that maybe some of your organizations would be represented here on the platform after you register as a member and are creating your organization profile. So For example, we have the Schatz Energy Research Center, which is based at Humboldt. They have their profile here on the platform. They're registered as a technology innovator, and secondly, as an architecture and engineering firm or organization. And here in the profile, they're able to capture some of the information about them, an overview, and then they can add additional information about what kinds of clean tech they are most involved in. Of course, they have a really wide focus, so they've elected not to narrow their focus here on the platform. We also have, you can also sort here for types of organizations. So in terms of startup services, of course, our partners, Momentum and Clean Start are all here with their organization profiles. This is another great way for people to kind of start making connections here on the platform. If you were to click on any of these, you, as a logged in user, you would be able to send them a message, and it would automatically populate with whoever is designated by the organization to receive these messages. And this would create a thread, a message thread here on the platform, because we have a standard messaging function. Our second most important portion of our site is, of course, our funding opportunities. And so here on the homepage, we pull together kind of our top 6 hot funding opportunities. These are typically ones that are promoted by maybe a partner, but also are coming due soon. So here you can see that we have a food production investment program right here on the homepage. We also have a few programs from the California Energy Commission and the Clean Tech to Market program at UC Berkeley, which is currently seeking applications. So you can click on any of these. It will take you to a little bit more information about the funding opportunity. And you'll see here this tagging system, which we use across the platform. It really helps us kind of focus in on what a funding opportunity is focused on. This is a competition, and so they have a really wide focus. This is actually the competition awards that are being staged around the EPIC Symposium that the California Energy Commission is hosting this April. Of course, we also have our Find a Partner function, and everybody gets a little reminder about that as they're looking for funding opportunities. We have the ability to filter by whether or not it's an active funding opportunity, or if you're interested in seeing our backlog. We typically have between 50 and 100 active or rolling funding opportunities on the platform at any time. This is one of those larger grant opportunities where we have several interested organizations who have flagged their interest in finding a partner. Of course, this one's closed. Hopefully they found something useful here on the platform in their application for this grant. We also have a pretty expensive events calendar, and so as Tom mentioned, we're always looking to continue to populate this with new funding opportunities and events. We want to be really reflective of all the different regions of California and the state. So if you're ever looking for, and if you have any kind of newsletter where you're distributing funding opportunities or want to highlight events in your community's region, we really invite you to come here and take some of these and share them with your community. It's great if you can call us out, but we are very happy to share all of these resources and make sure that they're getting to the people who are most going to benefit from them, and that's clean tech developers and community members. So we do have the ability to, if you're looking for location, I would recommend that you switch over to the grid view and then to search here. Typically this one's better search. So these are all ones that are going to be taking place in Sacramento or be associated with a group in Sacramento. We also have our resources directory, which we won't explore today, but I do recommend you check it out. If you click straight on right here on resources, it'll give you a little information on how we organize the resources directory. Further down our homepage, you'll find some of our spotlights. We post both internally created and reposts of some of our partners' content, highlighting typically accomplishments among their startups. We have some posts related to the EPIC Forum in Long Beach. And we're also looking to engage additional writers who are interested in maybe documenting some of the achievements in their region here on the platform. When you or any members of your community register on the platform, you will get pulled to this and create an organization profile for your organization. It'll appear here on our new organizations. So you can see some of our more recent joinees: Southern California Edison, EPRI, the County of Ventura have all signed up probably in the last 2 days. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about signing up here on the platform and then some of the features that you'll see once you sign up. Our sign-up process is designed to be very simple. We only have 5 pieces here in this form. You can sign up with LinkedIn, which will populate your email, your name, and use your LinkedIn credentials here on the platform. You can also sign up with your email, first and last name, and your email address and password. We then ask you to, if you check here, it'll give you notifications. We do a monthly newsletter, but it'll also let you be notified if you receive any messages on the platform. So it's a good thing to check. You identify what your role is here. We do break it out a little bit farther than the organization types, so university staff, researcher, and other if you don't fit any of these. And then we ask you to kind of tag some of your some of the things you're interested in learning more about, and we're working on making this an interactive piece of the site so that this information will help drive the site's behavior in terms of items that are shared with you. And that's it. That's all it takes to register. We designed those to be this simple because we wanted to make it easy for all of our really busy community members to get this first step of registration done. So you hit submit, and then your profile as a user, an individual member, is completed. After this form, there is a little bit longer like member form where you can record what organization you're a part of and some of your other details in terms of maybe education history or other things. But this is all it takes to unlock the resources. So some of the features that turn on when you are a registered user, it allows you to favorite anything on the site: people, organizations, events, resources, funding opportunities. That will save them to your personal dashboard. It will also allow you to use the Find a Partner form. it will also allow you to what else would it like to? It will also allow you to register your organization. And so that organization profile is going to be based on those organization groups that we mentioned. And is probably the key piece of the site in terms of getting your presence here on the site completed. We do recommend that if you are part of an organization, especially universities where you have like a number of different subgroups for maybe the Stork Center at Sacramento State. I can't recall off the top of my head if Sacramento State already has a profile, but we do ask that some of these more distributed groups figure out what fits best for you. For the Shasta Energy Center, they they have a very specific kind of mission. They participate as on grants independent of the rest of the university that they're part of. And so we kind of want to balance that. You can create organization groups, one for an entire university, but it may not be the best fit. And so we just ask that you take a look at the organization directory, see if any part of your community is already present there. And there's a function where you can join an organization. And of course, the administrators, Tom and myself, can help facilitate those connections if you're having trouble getting a hold of the person who's part of that, who's created that organization profile. So that concludes our walkthrough here. We have plenty of time for questions. If you have questions about the actual platform itself or navigation, I'll answer those. And then, of course, Tom will jump in for any other questions related to that you might have.
I think everyone is still able to talk, so if you guys do have any questions, just unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask away.
Well, this is Lorenzo from Sacramento State. I just want to let you know this is really impressive, and I think that what I need to do is take some additional time to kind of explore the site, but it really, really looks impressive. And what I like most about it is that it just seems very easy to use. And so I think it'll be a very low bar for getting us better connected. So I just want to commend you for what you're sharing with us.
This is Thomas from Clean Start. I think it's very cool. I had some connection issues in the middle of it, so excuse me if some of these things were kind of covered on it. But when it came to connecting with people as partners or as organizations on it, I've seen other organizations and companies say, hey, we're part of this, but I haven't seen the ability for Clean Start to go and say, hey, we're part of this network too in it. So I was wondering if how you do that.
Sure. Is that related to maybe some of the startups that are associated with Blue Tech Valley, how they can say, like, I'm associated with Blue Tech Valley?
That, and also because we're a partner with Blue Tech Valley and Sac State, it'd be nice to say, like, hey, here's people that we're partnered with on it. And okay. I don't see how to go and kind of like a friend request or a contact request on LinkedIn or Facebook, where you go and say, like, hey, that's an organization that we're partnered with, and generally, is there a way to do that? Or
sure. So there's not a way for organizations to do that here on this site. We have a special relationship between the startups that are a member of our partner accelerators, so Blue Tech Valley, Cyclotron Road. We do not have a way for any other organizations to kind of flag their connections through the site. We do encourage people to take advantage of the form, the organization form, in terms of like adding a line about your connection there. There's places to upload images, so you could potentially upload your partner's logo, but we're less focused on creating distinct lines between the organizations and more of being a directory of members here in the wider community, if that, yes.
Okay.
Hey, this is Tom Thomas. Hey, thanks for joining. There are CMS pages for each partner. And for example, Blue Tech Valley has a CMS page. So if you go to About Our Partners, they will list their partners, many of whom are attending this webinar today. So that's one way in which they can show their association with you. So you might look at their page. Also on your page, and you have a company account, you can describe your relationships, and I think you can hyperlink. Can't they hyperlink, embed? Can they hyperlink to another organization, Catherine?
Yes, I believe so. The piece of the form that is the organization description should allow for hyperlinking. So you could put in your partners a little sections like visit some of our other partners here on the platform, and then hyperlink to, for example, Blue Tech Valley's organization page.
Yeah, good idea. So something that might be helpful as you all, some of you already have, company or organizational profiles, but for those that don't, then something that may be helpful is just search for, put in the university, just put in the word university or college in the search bar, and then you'll see examples. I know that we have UCLA, we have UC San Diego, there's a couple UC Berkeley groups, of course the Schatz Center. We have universities from outside the state. So there's many, many examples. So you can see how they did it, if that's helpful. And then, what they're promoting. Again, some of them have a use case like Catherine described, the Schatz Center, and others have other types of use cases. So that may help.
Okay.
Any other questions before we wrap up? You just unmute yourself and then you can ask away. But I do have to say this platform has been so helpful. Even for our newsletter, like Catherine mentioned, we go to the platform, we look at the grants and upcoming events, and we can pull from there. And I have to say, Thomas and Catherine have been so helpful with creating our platforms and kind of driving and steering us in the right direction. So I want to thank them. Any other questions?
Hey, this is Jeff, and just a one note, Catherine and Tom, I think you mentioned with this Empower Innovation Network that people have been using it to find partners. Could that be where ventures find partners to apply for grants, or some of our partners here could find other partners to apply for grants? Is that something that's been working?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been working. I think there's been, over 100 partner requests across the different grants. And I know just from talking to people that, they've found partners, it's led to conversations. So it has been very helpful. It's private, so you can't see who's looking for a partner unless you're looking for a partner. And then you can be as general as specific as you want. You can say, I'm interested in finding a partner. or you can say, I'm interested in providing a demonstration site. So for example, Santa Rosa Junior College a few months ago won a grant where they were a microgrid. I mean, they won a $8 million grant for a microgrid demonstration site where they were bringing primarily the demonstration site, and they partnered with an engineering firm to do the technical part.
And Tom, if some of our partners want to promote some of their events or things, how should they go about doing that?
What I would suggest,
Sure, I can answer.
yeah, that would be great, Catherine.
So I have pulled up here the last slide of our deck. Please feel free to contact me at my kcollins@empowerinnovation.net. That's our best email address where we curate a lot of our events and funding opportunities to go onto the platform. And of course, you can always use the contact us form at the bottom in the footer of any page on the platform. Those are probably the best two ways to get to share your upcoming events, funding opportunities, or maybe resources that you would like to see on the and share on the platform.
Mm-hmm. And you can also share. So that's a great idea. You can also message Jeff or Courtney, both of whom have direct access to post events, in the network. Obviously, the whole platform is for your general use. I think it's obvious it's not just for your use as being a Blue Tech Valley partner, but we're hoping it just globally supports the mission of your institutions. How you can help us is that we're trying to, true to our mission of empowering more people, diverse stakeholders to get involved in environmental issues and innovation issues. We are really interested in identifying more community groups, whether it's with an environmental focus, environmental justice focus, local economic development focus, that want to get involved. The state of California, for many of its programs, including the Energy Commission, has a 25% set aside for grants, where that money should either directly go to a community group or benefit a community. And so it's pretty easy for us to find utilities, startups, and even to some extent, engineering firms to join Empower Innovation. But we could really use help and suggestions from you all with respect to, community groups that you may know or that you may work with as part of your mission. And you're welcome to just email us and say, hey, I want to introduce you to Rachel, or I was telling her about the platform, however you communicate.
No, I love that. And I will also be sending up a follow-up email. So I will introduce everyone to Thomas and Catherine. So, and I'll send the webinar, the recording of the webinar, and a link to the platform as well. But if there are no further questions, I do want to thank our partners for joining us today. All of you guys, I know you took an hour out of your day, so we really appreciate it. And I want to say a huge thank you to Catherine and Thomas, and also Jeff Macon for hosting this webinar today. And if there are no further questions, I would like to say thank you all for attending, and we will see you next time.